onto the circuit goes the junior Rotax contenders. And the racing has been very good up until now. KR Sport, Thule Motorsport, Dan Holland Racing, Strawberry Racing, and Coles all in the top 6. And then a smattering of top quality privateer drivers led by the 53 of Tommy Foster. Into Bobby Game Corner they go. Prize fund in this class, £1,000 for the winner, £500 for second place, third place, £250. That is cash sterling, which given straight to the drivers, who then battle to not give it straight to their parents, who have normally paid for the privilege of being here, and it'd be nice for them to get a couple of quid back now and again. Anyway, Petit leads them into the tram lines. Lights are out. We're off and racing. Joe Turney gets a good jump at the start. Was it good or was it too good? We will wait and see. But Turney leads. And of course, it's hard for Joe Turney because he was being pushed along. The top 5 rows were super glued together as they come across the line. So even if Turney wanted to slow down, he probably couldn't have. They're cleanly off the banking. 17 drivers into the first hairpin. And out again, led by the number 96, followed by the O-plate of Petit. Apps makes a move for third there on Chesterton. Foster passes the 47 of Kimber for 5th at the Fullerton S's. And William Petit sets off after race leader Joe Turney as they come through the Mike Wilson complex. On to the start-finish line. Oh, Turney runs a little bit wide. He gets almost all 4 wheels over the grass blocks. That will have cost him a little bit of momentum. The start of the number 96 kart is under investigation. On to the banking. Oh, a couple of drivers just outside the top 10 running very, very high at the banking, but they all managed to continue. Oh. And down towards hairpin number 1. No one is breaking away. That's the result of just a very good, clean start and first lap for everyone. Apps takes second. Miles Apps into P2. Driver from Dartford. Apps very successful in Cadet Honda. I think he won a British Open title in Cadet Honda. I could be wrong. But he was very successful. Then had a year as a privateer last year that, let's say it was one to forget. He's now moved to the Dan Holland Racing team and has come alive. He hasn't. He won. Eventually, he was classified as the winner of the 4th and final heat yesterday after a penalty was applied, I think, to Joe Turney. But he hasn't crossed the line first and taken the checkered flag as the winner yet this weekend. He's now in second place. And change for third as the number 25 Coles kart of Tyler Chesterton passes William Petit. Tommy Foster contemplates a move as well, but Petit comes across and then runs wide of the second hairpin. Foster does gain the place, and Mark Kimber capitalises on Petit's loss of momentum to push the O-plate winner down to 6th position. And that has helped Joe Turney and Miles Apps just ease away ever so slightly. They come through the Mike Wilson complex onto the end of lap number 3. We begin lap 4 with 12 minutes to go. Tommy Foster, that red and white number 53, the driver from Newquay all the way down in Cornwall, so there's a lot of travelling to get to any kart circuit pretty much in the UK. He is up into 4th place, mixing it with the best in the class. May only be 18 of them in the field, but 4 of the top 5 in the British Championship this year are in the race. Turney, Petit and Apps. And Foster, who himself is 5th, so this is no fluke. This is not some random one-off event where Tommy Foster's found an extra gear. He's been doing this all season. But the top 2 are doing something else. They're pulling away because as Turney and Apps complete lap number 4, Miles Apps sets a new fastest lap, and the gap back to Tyler Chesterton in 3rd place grows to 1.1 seconds. Now Chesterton is getting assistance from Foster, being just helped along. Petit is there in 5th. Kimber is 6th. Behind Kimber is number 32 of Jensen Brown having a good run. Then it's Reese Hunter, Tamer Chauhan in 9th, and George Holbrook rounds out the top 10. Cole Kilner in the 74 McBarrett Kart, just sending one up the inside of George Holbrook at the first hairpin for 10th place, but then runs out of brake pedal and has to concede the position back. The 2 Persistence karts coming into the Fullerton S's, battling over 12th position. Isaac Smith and Jason Lockwood. Ryan Elliott behind them, then Henry Ayres, Jamie Conker and Logan Blake. Leaders. 10 minutes to go, complete lap number 5. Another fastest lap from Miles Apps. 59.84 seconds. And Apps really turning the screw now on Joe Turney. Over the Litchfield Bridge. Behind them, Petit dives to the inside of Foster going into turn number 4. Takes the 53 car by surprise. That's a risky move into turn 4 because you're changing direction very quickly from entering the bridge to making that right-hand down turn. It can go badly wrong, and we can end up with karts going at the bank, which has happened before. It didn't happen then. Petit timed it right. Miles Apps is probably going to contemplate how he is going to time things right when he makes a move on Joe Turney for the race lead. Though judging from what Miles said on the grid, I think we may see him just, if Turney is doing quick laps and the 3rd place battle isn't closing on them, I think Miles Apps be quite content to sit there. What's this now? Is he going to make a move onto the banking? No. He's listening to me. Into turn 3, the 14 kart, that predominantly blue machine chasing the predominantly purple machine of Joe Turney. William Petit now takes 3rd, repeats the move on Tyler Chesterton that he did a lap earlier. And Mark Kimber and Tyler Chesterton lock wheels going into the first hairpin. And Kimber in the 47 scrambles back on behind Chesterton. I think Kimber was trying to make the move, and the back end just stepped out, clattered into one of the wheels of Chesterton's kart. They bobbled around a bit, lost a little bit of momentum, but crucially, they stay 5th and 6th. It just means that the 2 leaders are that little bit further ahead because Chesterton was 3rd. The gap at the end of the previous lap between the top 2 and 3rd place was already nearly 1.8 seconds. It is now 2.2. 8 minutes to go. Turney and Apps are busy winning the race, probably for one of them. At this stage, Apps a 3rd fastest lap in a row, 59.74. Turney is doing a 59, he's done a 59.77. Only William Petit and Cole Kilner have broken the 1 minute barrier. So, although some of the battling for 3rd place has helped create this situation with a 2 kart breakaway, there is no denying that Turney and Apps have found a bit of extra speed for this, the most important race of all. How much faster could Miles Apps maybe go if he wasn't sat behind Joe Turney? Well, we may find out soon, we may not, depending on what Miles thinks. And he's quite content to follow the race leader onto the banking. Good drive from number 74, Cole Kilner, who had an offer a retirement in the pre-final, and the Mick Barrett Racing number 74 was running in 8th place. He's now coming up behind Tamer Chauhan, makes short work of the Thule Motorsport driver, runs a little bit wide, coming out and almost gets passed by the 34 of Reese Hunter, but he manages to hold on And Cole Kilner is now running 7th. Six minutes to go. The leaders complete lap number 9. 59.67 seconds for Miles Apps. The gap back to William Petit in 3rd place grows by another couple of tenths to 2.4, although to Petit's credit, he is running laps in the 59.7 second bracket, and he is easing away from the 4th place battle, which is now headed by Chesterton, followed by Kimber and then Tommy Foster in 6th. Good scrap for 7th. Right, Teemu Chauhan has been, well, you pay your money to come and watch him. He's been very spectacular, very quick, and now in the last race this morning and the fourth heat yesterday, he really showed how quickly he's matured, even in the space of a couple of days, just by not trying to win the race at every single corner. And he is now in 7th place. He has got Reese Hunter, Cole Kilner, George Holbrook and Jensen Brown right with him. And he's on course for a very, very good result. But he's in a battle as Hunter makes the move. Across the bridge in front of that battle go the leaders. Kimber challenging Chesterton. We've got 4 minutes to go. And the gap comes down between the top two and William Petit in 3rd. Petit last time around was only a couple of hundredths. Petit just wants to try and stay as close to the two leaders as possible because he knows, Miles Apps is going to sit behind Joe Turney for the time being, but he's not going to sit there until the checkered flag comes out. He's going to really have a go at some point. What you have to consider now is that the last time around, Miles Apps was not quicker than Turney. Turney, a 59.69. And so Miles Apps did 4 consecutive fastest laps. And the last 2 times around, Turney has been quicker. And Miles Apps won't want to have left it too late. His kart has been stronger than the race leaders through the middle portion of the race. Is Turney's kart getting stronger and stronger in the closing stages? Miles Apps is hoping he hasn't missed the boat, so to speak. Petit 3rd. Chesterton 4th, Kimber 5th and Foster 6th. They're not a factor for the race win. Cole Kilner is now 7th. Then it's Chauhan, the 32 of Brown, Hunter and Holbrook. The leaders come out of the Mike Wilson complex with 3 minutes to go, and they complete lap number 12. Apps still in the slipstream, not panicking, and he's still following Turney around the banking, but he's going to have to make a decision soon. Where is it going to come? Down the hill towards the first hairpin. Apps breaks a little bit early. That was a deliberate breaking early there from Apps. Didn't want to make the move there on that occasion anyway. Out of the second hairpin. And we've seen in the cadet races that some of the drivers, they spend more time looking over their shoulder to make sure to cut off what's happening behind them. The older and more experienced you get, Joe Turney, I don't think we've seen Joe move his head once. And he has had another kart inches behind him for the last 10, 12 minutes. Hasn't let it affect him one bit. But Apps really pushing Turney now as they begin lap 14. Less than 2 minutes to go. Out onto the banking. Petit 2.6 seconds back in 3rd. Chesterton, Kimber and Foster are next. Now on the TV coverage you can see that coming through turn 4, Miles Apps gets the kart turned in earlier than Turney and gets a better drive out of the corner down the hill. And he dives to the inside. Lead change. Miles Apps at the second hairpin moves into P1. Turney can't come straight back at him. Petit will be hoping that Turney does go straight back in, because that will bring him closer to the front. Tamer Chohan loses a couple of places further back. That was Jensen Brown going through. But Miles Apps will have just over 1 minute. In fact, when they cross the line, it'll be 1 minute. Plus whatever else is left to hold on to this lead. But Turney makes a move straight away onto the banking into turn 2. Turney to the inside, and the number 96 KR Sport Kart retakes the lead. Now, this is where Apps' kart is good, down the hill. Is he going to make a move? Well, Turney's defending, and Apps breaks nice and early. They're both breaking early. Apps going to try the crossover. Oh, Miles Apps waited and waited and waited. He knew Turney was going to try and sucker him into the move. So Apps simply cruised round until he saw an opportunity. That was good thinking there from Miles Apps. I have to say, he was braking halfway down the straight, anticipating what he was going to do. I mean, it's not doing them any favours in terms of keeping them ahead of William Petit, who is going to be closing in rapidly. And in fact, the gap between the top two and Petit in third is now not seconds, it's just a couple of kart lengths. Last lap board goes out. Turney leads, Apps and Petit follow. Turney defends through the first corner, onto the banking. Turney has to defend onto the banking, and watch for William Petit's run, round turn 3, and this is where William likes to make a move into turn 4, but he can't. Down the hill, Turney to the inside. Apps follows him in deep. Petit going round the outside. Here we go. Oh, Petit just about holds on to it. He half spins. He almost tried to use the nose cone of Turney's kart to get him turned into the corner. The engine is gone, and Miles Apps capitalises as Turney was a little bit slow. Apps in the number 14 Dan Holland racing kart goes into the Mike Wilson complex. It does look as though Turney is not close enough. So the boy from Dartford comes onto the start-finish line, fist in the air, is the 2016 Junior Rotax Kart Masters champion for Dan Holland Racing, Miles Apps. Times right, he was actually running in third at the time when William Petit tried. Well, that was audacious with a capital A for Petit, but he had to do something, and he got the kart sideways, and as Turney turned in, Petit was in front of him on the outside, going sideways, and the two karts just clipped, and well, Petit's kart is obviously cut out or something like that. But in the midst of all that, and then of course Miles Apps just got out of the way and went on to record the win. Turney finishes second. I think the smile that you'll see on the podium from Joe Turney will be a brave smile. Tyler Chesterton completes the podium, with Mark Kimber in fourth and Tommy Foster, leading privateer, rounding out the top 5. Jensen Brown is 6th, good result for Jensen. Then Cole Kilner from the back of the grid up to 7th. Tamer Chohan